Has your business been affected by COVID-19? The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is available to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The VISBDC is sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration and collaborates with local agencies to support the small business community. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and provides free consulting, business education training, and technical assistance. Attend workshops with subject matter experts from both the public and private sector. From idea generation to exit strategies, the staff at the VISBDC is ready to assist you. Now is the time to contact them, so don't wait. Call or email them to find out how they can help your business grow and succeed.
Good morning and welcome to the Webinar Tuesday. Webinar Tuesday is hosted by the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center in collaboration with the Small Business Administration. My name is Raymond Henry and I am a business counselor in the VISBDC St. Thomas St. John Water Island District. I will be your facilitator today. Today's session is Deep Dive into Learning Resources at the SBA. Today's session is being recorded. It will be posted on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Our presenter today is Mr. Wayne Huddleston. Mr. Huddleston is the Senior Area Manager, U.S. Virgin Islands, in the Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands District. Mr. Huddleston has several years' experience, and we look forward to his presentation today. For today's session, please put all your questions in the chat and they will be answered at the end of the presentation. I am delighted to present to you Mr. Wayne Huddleston.
All right, thank you, Raymond, and thank you to everyone at the SBDC for continuing to host these. We really appreciate it. As those of you who've joined in the past, we do a weekly webinar that SBDC hosts where we cover a number of different programs. We focus typically on one particular program and then answer questions on anything after that. This week, we thought it might be helpful to do a run through of our website. Now, at face value, that sounds kind of boring, but actually our website has a lot of great information on it and is really easy to use. And it's really one of the better ways to explain a lot of our programs, to show you exactly how quickly you can access them or even apply for some of our programs online. So what we're going to do is just a walkthrough of the highlights of our website. We're not going to go through all the pages and read them to you. There are a lot of pages to go through, but we want to hit the ones that we think are most important, show you how easy that functionality is, and then leave time at the end to answer your questions. I'm going to go through several parts of our website, and then I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Lisa, who will go over some of our COVID relief programs and where they stand now. So what you see on your screen, or what you should see, is the landing page for the SBA website. As you can see right now, we are still highlighting our COVID relief options. We are still in the pandemic. It is still having a large effect on the economy and on businesses. So while we do a lot of things, we are highlighting our COVID relief. As soon as you hit sba.gov, you can just click this learn more and learn a lot more. I'm not going to go through that right now. I'm going to leave that to Lisa. But what I'm going to do is hit some of these other parts on our site and show you some really cool tools that you may not be aware of. So I'm going to work just left to right real quickly. The first one is our business guide. As you can see here, there are a lot of tools here that you can use. Basically, almost anything you can think of that may be a challenge for you as you start or grow your business can be addressed in a site. Some simple ones here is at the very beginning. If you're planning a business and you're trying to write your business plan and you need some help with that, we have some cool templates here that are available for you. So you would just click the business plan guide. You can get a full guide on how to write a business plan, how to do the format. There's information on how to calculate your startup businesses, how to think about funding your business, considerations for buying a business. But one of the cool tools here is that you can get different kinds of business plan. There's a traditional startup business plan and a kind of a lean startup business plan that's really easy. And it goes through a very basic example of what that looks like with an executive summary, a description. We describe what all of that is. This is a great site to go through if you're at the very beginning stages of your business and you're not sure where to go or how to start. We even have some examples here that you can download free of charge. They're Word documents, so you can adjust them to fit for your business plan. And then we have a lot of resources in there and a lot of things you can think about. But as you start a business plan it serves two purposes, but the most important purpose is the one for you. So it's important to write down exactly what you're doing. It makes a big difference when you put things down on paper and you think through all these different steps on from your executive summary, from your company description to your analysis. Just writing that down and going through the process can help you think through some things and maybe go in a different direction than what you previously thought. The second purpose, which is also very important, but is to provide to others who you either may be partnering with you on this business or funding your business, specifically lenders, if they are going to consider providing you any funding for your business. Funding for a startup is very rare, but it's not impossible to get funding for a startup. But if you don't have a coherent business plan as a startup or as a new business that's only been around for a couple of years and you go to a lender, it's going to be nearly impossible to receive any sort of funding. Now, contrary to what you might believe, a lot of people will put a lot of effort into a business plan and provide that to a lender, and it can be many pages long. A lender will not read through all the details of that plan, but they will go through it, and they will, they see hundreds of plans throughout the year, and they know how to touch upon those really quickly. And if you don't have it structured in a reasonable format, and you're not hitting the highlights to convey your information very effectively and efficiently in your business plan, and they're just not even going to listen to you. But certainly if you don't have a business plan at all, your chances of securing outside investment from lenders or even others who may be willing to invest go down a significant amount. So I wanted to highlight that tool on our website. I think it's really great for people who are just starting a business or considering buying a business. We also cover a lot of other parts in this business guide, such as picking your business location, choosing a business structure, your name, registering your business, and then of course, managing your business from marketing, sales, preparing for emergencies, hiring and firing, paying taxes, and then growing your business and other resources there. But a lot of great resources on a business guide, but if you're very early in a business, I would make sure you start with this part on the left side over here. Just tons of great resources. And then another part here I want to talk about is funding programs. And let me go back. When you do click on business guide, it had that menu that I brought down if you just hover on it, but it is kind of broken off into little pieces that are kind of easy or nicer to navigate through here. So you can just click on the top. So funding programs, this is where it talks a little bit more about specifically SBA's funding programs and how we work in that process. There are really several areas that we operate in when it comes to funding your business. The most probably well-known that we have is what we call SBA loans. So if you click on SBA loans and look through those, you get a little bit more information about how the process works. So if you scroll down, it talks about how there's a lending partner and you get a loan, and we provide a guarantee in that process. Even though it's called an SBA loan, borrowers do not receive their loan directly from SBA. You receive it from a lending partner. Here in the Virgin Islands, that's the 5 big banks are all, actually 6 banks here in the territory are all SBA lenders. Popular, First Bank, Oriental, Merchants Bank, and Bank of St. Croix have all had experience utilizing SBA's guarantee to write loans for borrowers. the Virgin Island Economic Development Bank has also done it in the past and is eligible to use that guarantee to write loans to prospective borrowers. Our role in the process is simply to reduce the risk. We provide a guarantee, and that is essentially a promise based on the federal government's good credit to back a loan anywhere from 50 to 90% of a loan for a lender, allowing them to provide that loan to borrowers around under terms that make sense for them. We do not force a lender just because they get the guarantee does not mean that they're going to write the loan. We're just offering it to them. We say, if you have a deal that is somewhat risky or uncomfortable for that lender to write a loan for, if our guarantee can help overcome some of that, then we provide it anywhere from 50 to 90%. Now, our guarantee will not overcome all issues with a loan, and we cannot make a bad loan a good loan. But many times, lenders are going to be looking at all sorts of aspects of a loan application. And there many times could be just one or two little things that make a lender feel uncomfortable. But with a guarantee, it can help overcome that discomfort, such as if a lender is, or if a borrower is a startup and does not have a lot of historical cash flow history to show, but everything else looks fantastic to a lender. The borrower has a lot of collateral, has a great credit rating. The business plan looks fantastic. The opportunity looks great. It looks like it's going to do really well. Then perhaps they would go and say, okay, we just have this one issue. There's no historical cash flow to show us that this business is going to work. We need a guarantee on this. And then that's where they would come in for that. So there are a bunch of different programs we have. We have one called 7A, which really encompasses a lot of our programs, one called 504, another called microloans. We do not necessarily recommend that you spend a ton of time researching all those. That is for the lender to know. The most important thing to know is that you find a lender that is an SBA guaranteed lender and work with them. If they utilize an SBA guarantee, then that means that they do have caps on their interest rates. They do have restrictions on their terms so that they can't make a predatory type loan. And the lender can use it or not use an SBA guarantee, but knowing that you go to an SBA lender and knowing that they have that option, you can be assured that they are somewhat vetted by SBA and must adhere to certain protocols within the lending process. So in the very beginning of this page, though, as I mentioned, when you click on this up here, you will see a link to find lenders. This is a tool we provide on our site that allows you to link with any lenders, not just here in the Virgin Islands, but any lenders across the country who have expressed a willingness to look at deals in the Virgin Islands. Now, this is largely managed by the lenders themselves. We provide the platform and then the lenders use it. So all the lenders register in a database of lenders that we have. As part of registering, they are eligible to sign up for Lender Match, which means we will forward prospects to them who go through our website. Not all lenders sign up for it, but many do, thousands do, as a matter of fact. Then they must further designate what they're looking for in a prospective borrower. So they would have to specifically say, I am interested in the Virgin Islands. And then further, they can restrict it by saying, I'm only interested in deals, for instance, with businesses that have been in business for more than 2 or 3 years or 5 years. Or I'm only interested in deals where a borrower is looking for X amount of dollars. So they can put those restrictions in place. For you as a borrower, you would click on this part of the platform, and it just starts asking you simple questions. You can complete this within 5 minutes. It's very easy. You don't need to upload any documents. You are not applying for a loan as you go through this tool. You are simply providing basic information that will be sent out to lenders. So of course, you're sending your email address. I'm not going to go through it here, but this is your name. Subsequent questions to this include, what is your business? How much are you looking for? Do you have collateral, yes or no? What is your annual revenue? These are basic questions that lenders use to qualify a prospect. So if you do decide to use this tool, I highly encourage you to answer every single field that is asked of you. If you leave something blank, oftentimes the lender will just sometimes a lender won't even see it because they will say, well, if they didn't answer anything about collateral, then don't even send the notice to me. But if it's, sometimes they see it and it's blank, they're not interested. So answer every field correctly. Once you hit submit, that is shared with every lender who is requested to see those types of deals. They have 48 hours to respond. Within 48 hours, you should get a message either from a lender or from SBA. If from a lender, then they will reach out to you and say, I saw you filled out this form on Lender Match. We would be interested in speaking with you further, and then you go and talk with that lender. If no lender responds, then you will get an email from SBA saying no lender responded, and it will refer you to your local resource partner, which in this case is the Small Business Development Center or SCORE, that can help you along your process of seeking a loan, and they can be very helpful in that. So a lot of information here on our funding programs. We do have not only loans, we do have programs that invest in capital called small business investment companies. These are typically for businesses that are not necessarily ripe for lending, but may be ripe for an investor. They're not very easy to get those types of investments, but there is a possibility for you. So we have a link for that. Small business investment companies are provided capital by SBA to reinvest in local businesses. And so you can get a full listing of them there. We do not have an SBIC here in the Virgin Islands, but that doesn't mean that a Virgin Island entity could not get investment from an SBIC somewhere out in the territories, outside the territory somewhere. We have a link similar to our Find Lender program. You can do a Find Investor program, and we can link you with some of those. If your deal makes sense for them, then they will respond. And then we do have other loans under disaster assistance. Now, Lisa is going to talk more in depth on our COVID programs. I'm not going to talk about those, but in a general disaster, I say a general disaster, but something like a hurricane or something like that that is likely to hit our territory, you will be familiar with other lending programs that are available at the time. We provide loans not only to businesses, but also to homeowners and others to help with recovering from a disaster, because oftentimes insurance may not fully protect a loan or fully cover the damages. FEMA may not fully cover everything, and so a loan may be necessary to rebuild after a disaster. So more information on that can be found here. Also information on how to recover and all sorts of things. Grant programs are here as well. SBA does not provide grants to help start or grow a business directly to a business owner. The only times we are providing grants is typically through an entity that is providing assistance to small businesses. So for instance, the Small Business Development Center operates on a grant, a very large grant from SBA that is provided to the local host here, which is UVI, to operate the Small Business Development Center. There are also smaller grants and programs. STEP is one that is provided to the Virgin Island Economic Development Authority, and they provide assistance to local small businesses who are interested in expanding to trade to other countries or down island. They will provide assistance there. And then finally, we have what's called a surety bond program, which will allow you to connect with surety bond agents. This is most commonly used by construction companies who are required to have bonding to secure a contract to build, most frequently in the government sector. So if the local government is having a construction project put out for bid and you're a local business owner and you want to compete for that, oftentimes you do need to find bonding. You can just click here. It's very easy. In fact, we just recently had this updated because there was a lot of information that was not accurate for the Virgin Islands. But you can just click the Virgin Islands, and there you have 4 bonding companies that have said that they are able to help people get bonding if they need it for a contract here in the Virgin Islands. So all those are great tools that you can get through our lending program side. And again, you don't have to remember everything that we're covering here in this presentation. The most important thing to know is just go to sba.gov, and you're typically going to find it right here. I'm going to talk a little bit now about federal contracting. That's another major component of what we do here at SBA. Now, working with the federal government and securing a federal government contract is not as easy as just knocking on a door or responding to a bid that's out there. These are public dollars, and they do require some extra vetting and some extra process. So we provide some information on that. Here you can get a contract guide on how to assess whether your business is ready for government contracting. We go into more detail on how to win contracts, on the type of contracts, size standards, which really don't come into play here because most businesses here meet our size standards. We talk about the difference between prime and subcontracting. Highly encourage you that if you think you would be interested in government contracting, to read through this first before you even start that process. This will give you a lot of basic information. I'm going to click on basic requirements here on things you'll need to do, on what you'll need to do to compete with government contracting. And I tell people all the time, if you're only going to have one customer for your business, if that customer is the federal government, then you are doing fantastic with just that one customer. There are many businesses out there that only have the federal government as their customer, and they knock it out the park and they make a ton of money. The federal government is the largest purchaser of goods and services in the world. There is no larger customer than the federal government, and the federal government pays its bills on time and has a pretty good process for making sure that it takes care of businesses that take care of the federal government. So if you can perform on a contract and you can show that you can do it right and you can do it effectively and efficiently and with the right, do it cost effectively, then the federal government may be a great place for you. So you'll have to know how to meet your size standards and others, but the very first step is to register in SAM. This explains what SAM is, how to register. You can get a lot more information in there. And then it talks more about how to win contracts, how to get certifications. There's a ton of great information on our site on this. And this is where you can get all that. So let me go back out. And then finally, before I turn over to Lisa, I want to talk about our learning platform. So all of this information, all these tabs that I've been showing provide a ton of great information, and you can find a lot of it yourself. However, they are these learning platforms that can also be very helpful for you. These are more than just documents and reading on a screen. You can get a lot of online learning here. So I'm going to take you through a couple of these just to give you some good understanding of what these look like. So here we have a learning center where we have, right now, we have a ton of opportunities up here to learn. So resources on planning, on launching, on managing your business, on growing your business, and how to market your business. These are video courses. So let me just click on this here and show you. So how to write a business plan. You can click on this and go through a bunch of fantastic courses. They're very short. Some are, as you can see, some are just 30 seconds long. This is 17 seconds here. Some go longer. This is 6 minutes and 6.5 minutes. There are a lot of just great courses. So all you have to do is click on it. And as long as you have ability to play video on your screen, you should be able to do it. So I'll just take you here real quickly.
Welcome to the How to Write a Business Plan course. The course expands on topics relevant to those individuals who are planning to write a business plan.
All right, so you go through there. That person's voice is annoying to me already, but not all of them are like that. I think some of them are a little bit more engaging than that one, but there are some who have actually people on them, and doesn't sound like it's a computer talking to you. Unfortunately, I picked one where it did sound like that. But there's a lot of great information on there, and highly encourage you to take advantage of it, especially as a new business owner. Just put on some headphones, find some time, and learn about some of these aspects here. They can be a really great help for you. Another one is for a new one that we have is called Ascent, and this is geared specifically to women entrepreneurs. There's a lot of great information here, a lot of similar information, and honestly, I've not been through a lot of it, but there's a dashboard here that can help with a lot of information on how to market, financial planning, how to manage your people, all sorts of things. So it looks like you register through this, and it looks like you get a little bit more hands-on information or hands-on assistance with this than you do just with the Learning Center. But if you don't want to register, you can continue as a guest. But it sounds like they send you updates and provide you a lot of other information on there through this. This is a little bit more of a hands-on course, it sounds like, but a great tool. I've been hearing a lot of great things about Ascent, and highly encourage you to take advantage of it if you are a woman entrepreneur. If you're a veteran and you're starting a business or growing a business, Boots to Business is a fantastic program. This is where we have a live person to take you through a 2-day course on how to start and grow a business. Once someone completes that 2-day course, you are eligible for a much longer, I believe it's a 6-week course that is offered right now through the University of Southern Mississippi, I believe, or Mississippi State, one or the other. But it's a very good course. So instead of just watching videos online or reading information online, you're interacting with a live instructor and interacting with other people who are at your stage of growing a business to help discuss where you are with your business, learn about other additional resources. It's really a fantastic program. This is built upon the same program for any of you who have separated from the military since, I want to say, about 2014 or so. You will have gone through what you call TAP, Transition Assistance Program, and part of that, we developed the Boots to Business program for veterans or for soldiers who are about to become veterans and leave the armed forces. If they want to go into business, we put them through this intensive program to help give them the right tools right in the beginning to be successful and maximize their opportunity for success in growing that business. So again, this is open to veterans, but also spouses and family members of veterans. If you need more information on it, you can go to our site. Of course, that's the whole purpose of this presentation today, show you how the site works and get a lot more information from that. You can register for a program. We offer it here in the Virgin Islands, but you can take it, you don't have to wait until it's offered here in the Virgin Islands. You can take one in Puerto Rico if you want, you can take one however. So, and then finally, what's called we have another program that's called our Emerging Leaders Initiative. We have offered this in the past here in the territory. We've had probably around 40 graduates from Emerging Leaders. It is not for startups. It is not for businesses that are small. Well, it is for businesses that are small. It's not for businesses that are very small where you're not earning significant revenue. In fact, at the very minimum, your business must show that it has received annual revenue of $250,000. I believe that's still, yes. Have at least revenues of $250,000, has been in business for 3 years, have at least one employee other than self. This does not provide the basic information on how to start up a business. This is for business owners that have been successful, who have been operating, have been shown that they can maintain their business, not one that's struggling. But oftentimes business owners get to a point in their business where they're spending all of their time, day in and day out, just trying to keep the business going. And they want to take it to the next level where it can grow beyond them, perhaps grow into different locations, hire more employees, get out of the day-to-day aspects so that they can enjoy the fruits of their business and maybe step back a little bit and watch it grow and go into other things. So that's what this is for. We've offered it specifically here in the Virgin Islands. This past year, it's offered in Puerto Rico, but it is open to any Virgin Island business who wishes to participate. With COVID, it has been offered virtually. When COVID abates, I expect that we will go back to in-person classes. There have been a lot of very successful businesses here in the Virgin Islands that you would recognize that have been through this program and can tell you a lot about it and how it works. We typically advertise for this program in early spring, and then we select a cohort. It goes through intensive interviews with people in Puerto Rico, also me. You submit an application, and then we will narrow it down to a cohort typically of anywhere between 12 and 20 participants, and then they will begin in-person instruction. If we don't have COVID, if we do have COVID, it'll be online, but we'll be live and with other business owners, and you'll be working very intensely on your business on how to grow it and how to get it to the next level that you want to get to. So outstanding program. Be on the lookout for that. You can get more information, of course, anytime on our website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out to the very beginning page, and I'm going to ask Lisa to come on and take us through our COVID programs. Again, when you hit our page, very first thing you see is COVID-19. When you click on it, it takes you through our relief options. I'm going to ask Lisa to go through this and have her tell me where to guide on the clicker.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Wayne. As you can see, there are several programs that show up under the COVID-19 program tab. Some of them are in different phases, and I'm just going to go through them very quickly, and then we will concentrate on the EIDL and we will concentrate on SVOG, which are the two ones that are still in the stage where you can apply. So the Paycheck Protection Program, as you know, there were two rounds. One finished on August 8th, 2020. The other finished on May 31st, 2021. Let me see, I think over 3,430 of our US VI businesses got loans, PPP loans, during that time, and over $202.5 million were brought into this economy from the Paycheck Protection Program. We're in the point with Ppp Loan Forgiveness, which is the third tab to the right. And this is where, you know, the only things that I want to cover really there are your covered period. So if you got a loan last year, your covered period is a choice of anywhere between 8 and 24 weeks from the day of disbursement of your loan. And then you have up to 10 months following your covered period to apply for forgiveness through your lender. So that's what you have to. So let's just say you got a loan in August of last year, and you used a covered period of 24 weeks. Then if you fast forward 10 months, then you should have applied to your lender for forgiveness by October of this year latest. Otherwise, it turns into a loan at, for a maturity of 5 years for 1%. Now, all of the forms for application for forgiveness are on this, and you can see the facts about PPP forgiveness. Wayne, if we just go to that, just go down a little bit in this, or go up. I saw it. But we have all of the forms, and you want to make sure that you're filling out a form for your lender that is January 19th. And of course, the eligibility, you want to make sure that there is a minimum, there we go, and a maximum. So here are the forgiveness forms and instructions, and each of them, it's very detailed, and how and when to apply for loan forgiveness. You can get it in Spanish if there are people calling in from Puerto Rico this morning. All of these forms are, there's also in Spanish. And then they frequently asked questions about loan forgiveness, very helpful for when you are applying for that. There is also a simplified form for applications 150,000 and under, but all of this you can get on that, and that's where the PPP forgiveness is at. Now let's just go to the EIDL. Let's go back to the back to Paycheck, and then we're going to have to go back one again to the main. There we go. Get back again. Let's get out of PPP. All right, let's go to EIDL now. And EIDL, the COVID Economic Injury Disaster Loan, is a loan that is continuing. So it's one loan per tax ID. So if you've applied for these, then for this, and then you can only apply one per business. But if you have not applied and you are still needing help with negative fallout from COVID, then this is a loan that you can apply for until December 31st, 2021, or until funds run out. And in terms of just the details of the loan, again, it's to meet financial obligations and operating expenses that could have been met if COVID had not happened. There is a maximum amount of $500,000. If you got if you got an idle loan last year and where the cap was only 150,000 and your financials are strong enough, you may be eligible for a loan increase. This is a loan. It is not fully forgivable like the PPP. So for businesses, your terms are 3.75% for businesses, 2.75% for nonprofits. And again, the COVID loans are really the only loans where nonprofits have been able, the disaster loans are the loans where nonprofits can take part in SBA. Generally, it's only for businesses and not for nonprofits in regular times. All right, and the use of proceeds, we've seen examples there, continuation of healthcare benefits, rents, utilities, fixed debt payments, and so on. All right, there are also targeted idle advance programs and supplemental idle advance programs where if you have suffered a loss of a particular amount, then you can apply for an increase to your loan through there, and there is the application right there. For all of these loans, once you apply, you can also log on online to register to check the status of your loan, to know when payments are due, things like that. This is a loan that you are getting directly through SBA, and that makes it very different from all of our, like 7A loans, 504 loans, where you're going through a lender, and even the PPP. Let's go now to back to, there we go. So the shuttered venues grant, it is a lot more targeted. It's not for everyone. We will go to the eligibility, who can apply. You see that tab there, who can apply. All right. And this, eligible entities include live venue operators or promoters, theatrical producers, live performing organization operators, museums, cinemas, talent representatives. The most important thing to note is that this one, applications close this Friday, August 20th. So if you know of any eligible entity that has not applied, so far for the USVI, we have had two grants. As far as I know, to August 2nd, there were two SVOG grants, and those organizations received almost $149,000 between the two of them. What you want to know about this is everything that you need to do for application. Use the applicant user guide, look at the frequently asked questions, make sure you use the checklist to make sure that you have everything you need to complete the application. And there is a call center, which is the same call center as your idle loan. So if you have any questions about this, you can call 800-659-2955. And the call center is open from 8 to 8, even during the weekend. So that is for the shuttered venue grant, SVOG, as we call it at SBA. The other one that has also closed is the restaurant revitalization program. What we need to know there is that in terms of until it was closed, we had 28 restaurants and bars and food, people in the food and beverage industry, 28 of them in the US Virgin Islands, who got loans totaling close to $6 million. And this is, sorry, it's not even a loan, it is a fund. So as long as they use it for the eligible uses, that is, again, money that has come to help that industry, which has been particularly hard hit by the COVID pandemic. We're waiting to see if that fund will be replenished. There's no we're just in a holding quota this time, but for right now, that is closed. So Wayne, I will let it go back to you. That's pretty much all there is to know about the COVID loans, the COVID-19 relief options on SBA. That's the way to navigate. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. And that was a lot of information we've kind of thrown out. We've touched upon a ton of different programs. There's really a lot. So if you look up here, there's lots of other funding programs we can get more details in, federal contracting, our learning platform, and others. But we wanted to just highlight the basics, hit the main points of what we're doing and show how easy it is to visit our site to get a lot of that information directly. We keep it very well updated. The reports on our impact in the local area, including the Virgin Islands, can be found here on PPP, on EIDL, Restaurant Revitalization Fund, SVOG, others. You can also get contact information for technical support providers. There's really so much to be found on our site that we thought it'd be well worthwhile to spend a little bit of time just navigating the high points and then spending time at the end here to answer your questions. So with that, we've been speaking for about 40 minutes now. What I'd like to do is preserve the remaining time that we have to answer any questions that anyone has regarding our website or SBA or any of our programs.
And
You
we
can put them in the chat, or I think you can also unmute yourself.
there are no questions in the chat, so we invite, if they have questions, to come online and ask them directly or put them in the chat.
And if we don't have any questions, we can end early. But one I would ask, if someone from SBDC or someone who's not with SBDC who's just participating today, is this helpful to go through our website? Or is it more helpful to pick a topic and go through a PowerPoint presentation on it?
It is very helpful. I appreciate it.
Okay, good. Thank you for the feedback.
And for me, I probably have questions as I click on a couple of tabs, but I'm doing something else you should see in the background and listening to y'all. So, you know what I mean? I'll click on the tabs this afternoon.
Great, thank you.
And just a reminder, you know, you don't have to ask the question when you're here. If you need to like review and then ask, Wayne and I, we have our, we'll put our email addresses. Well, I'll put Wayne's for right now. And then if there are any questions that you have, you can feel free to reach out to us. And I'll just put myself on mute and type our email addresses so that you.
And as Lisa is sharing that, I do want to, emphasize again that we're here outside of these presentations as well. So while we're federal employees, we are based locally. So our job is to make sure that all our resources as a federal agency are operating effectively for Virgin Islanders. We're not, we care about the rest of the country, but that's not what we're focused on. We're here to focus on Virgin Islanders. Now, there's a lot of information that you do have to call a general number if you're getting information about your specific application in a EIDL loan, for instance, or something else, then you will have to call an 800 number to get that information. But if you have questions about specifically how those programs are being put into place here in the Virgin Islands, or if you have some other type of issue that we can help out with SBA, please reach out to us and give us shoot us an email. It's often the best way.
Okay, so Wayne, there are two questions in the chat. The first one is, and I would, if you can, bring your screen back up. What is the first place you would suggest for a new IT startup to begin? So maybe you can bring it back to the learning resources and the startup.
Okay.
Yep. And so if you look at the business guide, plan your business and launch your business. If you're a startup, these are all areas that you can identify.
Yeah, there are, I wonder if there's one that's specifically for the IT business. I'm not sure if there is. I think if you're just starting out in the IT business, a lot of the basic outline of a business plan still apply. You still need to identify your customers. You need to identify what you're doing, and you still want to walk through the basic program of how to kind of outline what your plan is in the IT business. Sometimes you can visit some other resource providers. In fact, score.org oftentimes has some templates, business plan templates that are geared towards specific industries. I'm not sure if they have one on IT, but they may. But you're still going to want to go through a lot of these basic things of calculating your startup costs, how to fund your business, and it'd be good to start with that. And then secondly, as you develop these business plans, I highly encourage you to make an appointment with the SBDC. You can visit them on their website. They have their own website as well. You can find them through ours, but VI SBDC, I think it's .com. You can request an appointment, whether you're on St. Thomas or St. Croix, meet with them one-on-one, face-to-face, or virtually. And they can do a lot of work to help you out with your market research, specifically for a particular industry as well. And thank you for bringing that up. This is the contact information for SBDC here. And I tell you, even if I've been with SBA for a long time, I used to be director of a very large SBDC, and I've been doing this for many years. Even if I was starting a business tomorrow, I would still make an appointment with the SBDC and just gather their feedback and gather their thoughts. It's free of charge. I know we put them through a lot of great training. I love to get some extra feedback on what I'd be trying to do from an expert, and they keep that information confidential. So they wouldn't be going around to my boss or my friends in the community and telling them what I'm doing. They have to keep that information confidential. So I encourage anyone to make an appointment, whether you're just starting out or even if you've been in business for a long time. They can provide some really good help and resources there. And there was another question, right, Lisa? Let me see.
Yes. Where can I see? But before we go to that, Derek, I would just add as well, if you'd like to send us an email, we can also put, the business counselors at VI SBDC are fabulous. Raymond's online. We have Greg and St. Croix. So depending on where you are, you can get that personalized attention, because I know that startups are always the one area that SBA doesn't cover is a lot of funding for startups, but they can make sure to go through your financial, your forecasting and things like that, and get you in the best position to approach a lender if you need capital at some point. In addition, Wayne mentioned SCORE. We can always put you in touch with our local SCORE counterpart, who can match you with someone in the IT business through their chapter in Broward, specific, and you can get a mentor through SCORE specific to your industry. So those are the two things that I would mention. And then where can I see the information in Spanish to share it? So Wayne, if you go back to the cover page, there is the link there to see it in Spanish. Let's bring that up. And then there are also individual pages like for IDLE, there are new, there we go, SBA in Espanol. You can either translate what you're seeing, or you can click if top left, top right, second tab over. Oh, no, here we go.
This one, did I get it right?
Yeah, there. So you can always translate pages from Spanish, or you can click and there are pages that are already translated. If you see right there, SBA in Espanol, here we go. If you click on it, next to traduce, oh, there we go. Yep, there you go. All right, so hopefully that answers the question, Gloria. If not, please feel free to come on and ask again. But good, I'm glad we're getting some questions.
I think we've got 7 or 8 minutes here. I'm not paying attention to the time, but about 10 minutes. If there's any other questions, fire away. If not, we'll end a few minutes early. Well, and at this point, Raymond, I'll just turn it over to you to wrap us up.
Thank you. We want to thank Lisa Shamley-Akwi and Wayne Huddleston for their fantastic presentation today. We invite our audience to join us on Thursday when we have another webinar, Benefits for Small Businesses through the Economic Development Authority web series. And join us next week for Enterprise Zone Commission, August 26th, through the Economic Development Authority webinar series. To join us, you need to register at our webpage, www.visbdc.org, or on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/VISBDC. On behalf of the staff of the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, thank you for joining us today and have a good week. And we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.